back in the United States. And by doing that, it makes it a lot easier for me to enjoy what is going on. If you guys have been following my Facebook page, you will see that I had this awesome salad that had, I had it twice. And you got to imagine this. This salad was so good. It had eggs cut into it. You guys know how expensive eggs are. So you know that was an expensive salad. That was a very expensive salad. So yeah. So again, welcome you guys. It is partly cloudy today. Yesterday, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. When I was a kid, I grew up in Okinawa, Japan. So I really enjoyed island life. And big shout out to my mom for giving me that experience at such a young age where I now understand what it is, the things that I like versus I don't like. Like right now, as a grown man, I retired to the desert, which is Riverside, California, near the Air Force Base there where I was stationed. And, it's just a different lifestyle, a type of living. And if you guys have been following me and know me as my friends, if you go into my backyard, I transform my backyard into the best Zen garden that I can transform it into. And it's been working for me so much. I got apples back there, all kinds of fruits, Asian pears, you name it, pineapples, you name it, it's back there. And if you guys could hear the noise in the background, please forgive me. It is the Dominican Republic, right? Okay. So let's get to the topic right now. Okay. The topic is this. Now, I've been here for a little over a week. Super Bowl's coming up. And I've traveled, I come from a military environment, a very closed and secured environment. So when people say, the hood and all this other stuff, I never understand what they mean when they say that. No, my mother did what she had to do as a widowed mother. And, she loved us so much. She made sure we had she got out of whatever situation it was. My mom comes from a country background and, she didn't want that life for us. She wanted us to do better. And at the same time, we produced for all the sacrifices that she had made for us. We produced, okay? And I'm not saying people that don't, but it doesn't make sense to me that you don't want to leave an environment that you say is negative and it's really bad and stuff. As a matter of fact, a lot of these young people now, they glorify it. So, hey, Gloria, good morning. Good morning, Miss Payne. Gloria, good to see you. Suti Band, good morning. Now, let's get into this. And this is what I'm going to talk about. This is real time. I'm talking real time here. And forgive me, you guys, like I said, I'm doing a podcast, which you can get on Streamer and all your podcast platforms. Just put in Donovan Sadiq. My name should come up and all the shows should come up and do it. So, we try to get this information out. And then later on today, in about an hour, I'll be doing a video cast with Dimitri K that we do without the audience, and we kind of do it. But real time here, I'm in the Dominican Republic, right? So I'm in the clinic yesterday, and I'm working out physical work. And I see a young man, and I'm going to have to say he's a veteran because he came into the clinic, and he's blogging. He's got his camera, and he's blogging, right? Now, I'm looking at him, and it's not illegal to blog here, which is fine. You could do that, whatever. But again, you guys got to remember, this shit that you guys see on YouTube isn't the same when you go to these other countries. You might be able to film here, but you might not be able to film there. Now, it's legal in the Dominican Republic, whatever. So we're in the clinic, and and he's blogging and doing his thing and narrating the thing like this. And I don't want to be filmed, but there's nothing I can do about it, right? Because I'm in the clinic. And there's some beautiful girls that work in the clinic, right? These are professional girls. These aren't girls that are working. These are employed young ladies. Why would you think they want to be filmed? This isn't a government entity. This is a private clinic that outsources with the United States State Department. So these people don't want to be filmed. This is not the clinic is not a public place, okay? I happen to know in the Philippines, you can't just film somebody in the public like that without their permission. See, different laws in different countries, and you better be very, very knowledgeable about the laws to the countries that you are going to, right? Sudaban 49, in America, like I said, you got to know the law. there is no expectation of privacy in public in the United States. Because I'm one of those people, I'll go out there and I'll be filming, because as we know, as Americans, there's cameras everywhere. So if us, the government, could do it, then nobody should have a problem with it. So technically, if I wanted to film children in a public park, I can do it. Now, should I do it? No, I shouldn't do it, because parents get upset, people look at it, but legally, there's nothing they can do about it. That's what I keep trying to tell people. Know the laws. You got to know what you're talking about. If you are a weed smoker, you cannot tell me you are not addicted to weed and it's no big deal when you can't go on a vacation without it. Go to Thailand and try to smoke weed or bring drugs into Thailand. That's a death sentence. I think there's 3 Americans there right now that is in the death penalty because they tried to bring meth into Thailand. Brittany Griner. Oh, it's cannabis, weed, it's this, it's no big deal. In America, it's no big deal. Here, it's a big deal. Okay? In other countries, it's a big deal. That's why I tell people, if you don't know how to travel, if you don't know how to be a guest in other people's countries, maybe you shouldn't go there. So, we see this brother doing it right now. Here in the Sosua area, this is real time, and this is a fact. The Dominican government is shutting this thing down. And again, this is my topic. When you got a good thing going, why mess it up? Why mess it up? If you're coming here and again, these aren't passport bros, okay? These are not passport bros. These are young men coming here to have a good time. Know the difference, right? I'm a 53-year-old man. I move a little bit different. I was a military man. It's just different. We've been to these countries. We know what's up. We've been briefed. Some of us have been stationed in these countries a minimum of 3 years, sometimes 1 year, unaccompanied tours and all that other stuff, right? So I was watching this blog on YouTube, and this one white girl was saying, well, Americans, when they set up bases overseas, they're really not in the greatest of areas. How many times have I said, you've got people that are talking about the passport bros. You got people that are talking about stuff that you can just tell if you're a traveler and a well-traveled person, they don't know what they're talking about, okay? Military bases in other countries back in the day when I was growing up, like I went to the Philippines, we had Clark Air Base, we had the Subic Bay, we had QB Point in Cebu and all these places. I'm just going to talk particularly about the Philippines. But even if you go to the bases in Thailand, the bases were away from the major city. There is no major military base in Manila, okay? There's no major military base there, right? They were on the outskirts, way out. But guess what? Hey, Stanley, what's going on? But guess what? Those American dollars and soldiers and airmen and sailors are at the bases. So guess what happens when you set up a base away from all the population, which back in the day, that's how it was. You set a base up way over there, then the people come and set up business to get those American dollars. So when that lady said that, it's like, you bitch, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Gloria says, people always mess things up for the rest of the people who are doing the right thing. Right. So we're watching this guy, and one of the guys, the clinicians in the clinic, he's a dude. He didn't want to be filmed. Not that he was doing anything wrong. He just didn't want to be filmed. And it occurred to me that what if this man is working a second job, but he told his wife the job was actually in Puerto Plata versus here, or some other place versus here. Maybe his wife doesn't want him to come to Sosua or whatever is going on. And Sosua is not a bad place, okay? Right now, in real time, Europeans have taken over this city. There are families here. All kinds of stuff is going on here. Now, I've never been here for the Super Bowl area, so I don't know what's going to happen. But the bars are full of white people. Karaoke. If this was American dominated, I'd be hearing country music all over the damn place, okay? So Stanley says, yeah, they date the locals and the locals set up shop. Exactly. They want that American dollars. And in the Philippines, when I was a kid in 1983, in the early 80s, when I first arrived, um, these girls would come out of the provinces because the provinces are so poor because it's a rural agricultural country, and they would come here to make money. Now, think about this. Dominican Republic, in real time, this place is being shut down. This place is being shut down. Believe it or not, the government is the squatters on the beach. We're talking about squatting businesses. Have a year to sew it up because they want them off of the beaches, and they're not shutting it down because of what's been going on here for years. They're not shutting it down for that. The government does not want the Dominican Republic depicted as a place to come to for sex tourism. And you know what's crazy? The only country in the world that has a $21 billion porn industry is the United States. It was the United States. Yes, and Gloria, it was bound to happen. But if there wasn't these bloggers and doing things like this, and I'm talking really to the young men, okay? I'm talking to the young men. And this goes to show you the immaturity. When I was growing up, my uncles and older men, positive men that my mom kept me around, when I started becoming a teenager, for some reason, they always were telling, even my older supervisors in the military, because I'm a young Thundercat, I'm trying to run. They would always tell me the story. And, and I'm not sure, Miss Gloria, you being a woman, if you guys are told the same thing like young men are told. There's the story of the old bull, and Stanley probably knows what I'm talking about. The old bull and the young bull. Stanley, please tell me you have heard that story. And the older men would always tell the younger men that story. And if you got it, it made sense. So basically, when I was told that story, it meant a lot of things to me. You're running after this girl, you're expending all this energy and doing it, and then you get nothing. When you can take your time and walk down there. That's one way to look at it. And another way to look at it is, for every bad chick that you think is out there, there's always going to be a younger, stronger, better, badder chick. See, and Stanley knows what I'm talking. Exactly. Real men get these stories. So here in real time, they're shutting all this stuff down, right? They're cleaning it up. Matter of fact, there's been a cruise ship. So I think a deal has been made in place where they're going to bring cruise ships here as well. So we're looking at a year of doing all this. I'm not saying it's going to go away completely. Stanley says expounding your energy for nothing, basically. Yeah, you're not going to run. The older guys know, hey, look, here's my cigarette. Hey, sit at the bar, have a drink, take a look around, see what's happening. A friend of mine always told me when I was flying in the Air Force, and you get to the bar early, always go ugly girl first. So if there's an ugly girl sitting there, you just talk to her, maybe buy her a drink, whatever. In case things didn't work out later on, you couldn't get anything, you can always go back to the big ugly fat chick or whatever it is. You go to that first chick if she's still there. board. Hey, sorry about that, you guys. Power went out, and you know what happens when that happens. So just give me a second here. I hate when it does that. I hate that light. So I'm sorry. But again, the podcast is there if you guys want to check out the podcast. So anyway, this guy's filming. He's blogging. He's doing his thing. And they're like, well, why don't you just go say something to him? I said, no, I'm not going to say anything to him. Now, remember, these guys are coming here. They're spending money in the local economy and whatever. Okay. Don't worry. They're spending the money, right? So the Dominican men are getting very, very agitated. Okay. And the women are getting agitated because they don't want their face, to be recorded. What if their family doesn't know that? What woman, unless she's like strung out completely, just doesn't give a damn, wants their family to know that they're coming up to make money? Remember, this is a very poor country, and there's not a lot of jobs here. And these women have bills. And it's funny that these women that you see on YouTube are always going to the most extreme measure to shame men, but yet say nothing about OnlyFans, say nothing about the music and the twerking and the stupidness that they're doing. It's been statistically proven women it's almost 100% paternity fraud on the woman's case, 100% paternity fraud. But it's been proven women, and I'm not here to bash women, I'm just saying the same negative things that they say about men coming here doing that, they're doing themselves, putting babies on men that are, and it's universal. So these women got OnlyFans. And you're doing this to these countries. So my thing is this: it must be okay to exploit yourself as long as men aren't doing it. Here's the thing in the Dominican Republic: pimping is basically a death sentence here. I mean, it's not on the books, but that is a serious offense here. Two consenting adults can exchange in a transaction as long as both parties are of the age of consent. What's the difference, right? It's very, very hypocritical. But the thing is, in the movie Cocoon, they had the pool and they were saying you could use it, right? Once word got out that was the fountain of youth, if you saw the movie, all the old people got their walkers, and once they found where it was at, they all went there and rendered the pool useless, and it ended up being shut down. Yeah, Stanley, yeah. You got P-Hub, Xvids, IG, on about what American women are doing here. And I'm not judging you. If that's what you want to do, you do it. But who are you to tell these people that that's what's happening over here? Okay. I mean, again, when people say, well, those are passport bros, a young man, unmarried, under 30, does not come to places like this to get married and find a wife. Any man, Stanley, and Stanley's right on it, he will tell you, this guy is here for a good time. Now, I'm a little older guy, and I know some girls that are, legit girls working here and stuff like that. And, they're older. And, a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, Ramona, has a bar. She's a bar owner and everything like that. Very attractive older woman. She's a widow and everything like that. 48 years old. Oh, man, you can tell when she was younger, she's still an attractive woman now. She was a banger. You could just tell. She's single and stuff like that. At 53 years old, I look at these girls here and I'm just like, it's not gonna work. Not for me. It's not gonna work for me. I know a lot of them, and they're, nice, and I'd be messing with them and kind of like, joking with them, because the funny thing, the young Haitian girls here, they demand the money. They demand money. You give them money. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I said, if I give you all my money, then what will I have? How will I eat? I'm hungry, whatever. And the funny thing was, this one little girl, I can't say young lady, I gave her 200 pesos, right? I gave her 200 pesos. She was mad that I gave her 200 pesos, which is equivalent to $4. Always double it. So if it's 100 pesos, it's $2. If it's 50 pesos, it's $1. So that's the easiest way to convert it in your mind. She said, no, she don't like that. She wants to eat chicken. She wants to, you know what I mean? She had these high expectations, and she got that from watching TV in America. Because how do you have nothing and then are mad for anything that you get? The entitlement that is messing up these countries, from these Western countries into these developing nations, is messing it up. So back to the guy, right? So everybody's like, why don't you go say something to him? I said, no, I'm not in a position to tell a young man how he's going to do. If he ends up getting cut, ambushed, or whatever, that's on him. But that young man is the reason why this place is being shut down. I've been here several times, and some of you guys have seen some of my videos and some of the times that I've been here. Never in one of those videos do you see me walking on the quote, quote, blade, and I'm filming these young girls walking. I'm either doing something like looking at homes and businesses, or I'm touring, I'm going to museums or historic places, right? You know, and that's the difference. I'm not saying you can't film, but do you think this is a nice area to film? You're going to get and this is what has now happened. They have now started to shut this down. They're going to bring a cruise ship, probably, that's been in the works now, to make this area way more family friendly, bringing more Westerners here and doing this. So in my talk that I want to say to the young men that are coming for fun and to have a good time, okay, you're going to film and whatever. And there's nothing against filming, but keep it for yourself. Don't post it on YouTube. Don't post it on YouTube. Keep it for your personal entertainment, but don't post it on YouTube. So I was at downstairs at, where I'm at, there's a bar downstairs, it's Ramona's Bar. And I'm talking to a young man, and I said, man, don't be having the whole rig and everything, and everybody knows you're filming. Technology is so well that you can get glasses that have cameras in it. You can get little button cameras if that's what you want to do. But at the end of the day, do not post it. Stanley says, I have so much to say about the passport bros issue. We've given so much grace to our women, and we are tired. You got that right. You don't need us, remember? Exact. Stanley, do you know what it is, Stanley? Tricking is tricking. Definitely. Again, apologies, you guys. This thing is going crazy today. I've never seen it go out like that before. But tricking is tricking, and I'm going to repeat this for the video people. Tricking is tricking, no matter how you look at it. And it seems to me that the women, young women, are mad because these young men, these men are taking their dollars and going overseas with it, which means the dollar is very strong right now. It's going longer. So they're going over there and tricking with other women, and they're mad because what's the difference between tricking there and tricking the United States? The women in the United States are incentivized, and I'm not condemning all women, but we know what we're talking about. 70% of all divorces in the United States are, I think it's even 80 now, are initiated by women. And then in that divorce, they take half the assets going out the door. So they're incentivized not to be married. They're incentivized to do that. Oh, you guys are going overseas, and what those girls are going to do is they're going to take your money. They just want to get with you for the money. They just want to get with you for the house or get to the United States. But that's what you guys are doing, aren't you? I want a 6-figure man. He got to make 6 figures. Take the guy's money. Oh, traditional man's supposed to pay all the bills. I'm the prize. You know, when I heard that, and I keep hearing a lot of women say that when it says, oh, I'm the prize. The woman's the prize. My question, ladies, is this. What man told you you were the prize? What man told you that? And if a man told you that, he's a simp man. No, you guys keep talking among yourselves, talk about, yes, girl, you the prize. Girl, we got it going on. We. But you're not listening to what men are saying, and they are voting with their passports, and they're leaving. That's the problem. But fellas, you young men, the revolution will not be televised. Stop posting this stuff. So, okay, that young man that got ran out of Brazil, now he's in Thailand. He's still posting. Even though it's good intention, he's still posting. He isn't posting what he was posting in Brazil, but they're going to do the same thing to him right there in Thailand. And these are not women like women back in our parents' day and our grandmother's day. They didn't have social media. They didn't have a fast way to expand information. Fellas, you young fellas, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. I sit here relaxing, having my Presidente beer, and this is what I see. And I told this young guy, let's say you get a chica girl and you take her to the room. Okay, you guys go have a good time. You thought you negotiated one price. She says it was another. A big commotion starts happening as you guys argue left and right, left and right, left and right, right? Because a lot of these young girls think because they have a access port that it's gold, it's platinum, big money. I've seen it over and over again where these young guys thought they negotiated one price, and then the girl tells them it was another. And you need to get back home to your job on certain time. So if it's $100 is what you negotiated, which to me is way too much to pay, but that's what you negotiated. What if she says it was $300? What are you going to do? Who do you think the police are going to believe? Where I stay, the police department is right down the street there. Who do you think the police are going to believe? I mean, it's just crazy how these young men, and most of the men that I've encountered here are from the East Coast. I'm not shaming the East Coast. We've got 2 generations of young men that have been raised by single mother homes. And so they've been raised to think, oh, the woman is the queen. You this, that. You got guys that are just giving money away that they really don't have. If you know basic economics, if the market is saturated with a certain product, the price goes down. If it's scarce, then the price goes up. But these guys just give the girls the money and these girls think they're entitled to the money. And these girls will go get their nails done, their hair done. And, it's their money that they can do what they want to do with it. Okay, hey, Rain, Donovan, Mayor Eric Adams dropping the vaccine mandate on this Friday in New York City. Okay, good. Yeah, so the Dominican men are starting to get agitated, as well as some of these business owners and these Canadians and these Europeans. And these people do not want their stuff highlighted on YouTube and of what's going on here. So that young man that's in Thailand, eventually that's going to be shut down, and so on and so on and so forth. You have a right to videotape, but there's it's not what you do. My mother used to tell me this all the time. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. You got glasses you can wear, all this spy device. Go to Amazon and put in spy equipment. They have spy watches and everything records, everything. But you got to know the laws in regards to where you are going to be. But these young men are messing it up. So here you are, you have this paradise. Everything is going good. And then here's another problem that I've seen. And it's just frustrating when you see these young men and you can tell they had no father or no positive male role model in their life, or at least a male that has traveled somewhere. They're here. When you post this stuff, right? When you post it, you're in heaven, Shangri-La, the Philippines, Thailand, Brazil, all this other stuff. Other people are seeing these videos. What kind of people do you think are looking at these videos and then get on the plane and come down here with whatever? It might not be the best quality type people, right? I was watching a video of a mother and a daughter fighting on an airline, of course, Spirit Airline. And, they just didn't know how to travel. They didn't know how to act in another country. So you have a certain element of people looking that have never been anywhere. They think, and let's be real about it. Let's say I'm a drug dealer in Los Angeles, Cal. I'm going to talk about my hometown, Los Angeles, Cal, because I don't want to disparage anybody else. He sees what's going on in the Philippines. Oh, man, let me go down there, man. That's an easy lick down there. I can go down there, get me some bitches and, do what I got to do. And, man, I could be international with this pimping, right? But he doesn't know the laws. Then he gets down there, bringing the bullshit and whatever. Next thing you know, he's on death row in Thailand, because he's trying to guerrilla pimp in another international country, creating problems that the governments have to deal with, which to them shuts it down. Most countries are traditional. A lot of countries aren't liberal like the United States. It just doesn't work. So young men that are watching this video or hearing this podcast, when you come here, think about that. Think about that. Women have been coming to Jamaica and Rent a Dread for years. Stella got her groove back. It was based on that type of lifestyle. She got the young man. Of course, in real life, it ended up he was gay. But didn't Terry McMillan marry that guy? Didn't she marry that guy? So you had sisters that have been coming down to Jamaica and all these other places for years, screwing, involved in the sex tourism industry, but you never see men talk about it. I really don't talk about it like that as a disparaging thing, but they're adults, whatever you do, what you do. Okay, that's how it is. They've been doing it for years. That's why, fellas, when you hear the girls talk about, we gonna go on a girls trip. No, just me and my girlfriends. We just gonna go. That's what they're doing in general. Now, I'm not saying all of them or whatever it is, but a lot of older women have been doing that for years. But what's the difference? they're not uploading what they're doing. Women move in silence. So young men, move in silence. If you've got to record, keep that personal recording for you yourself. Remember in Menace to Society, and I guess they had done when they had done they had robbed the liquor store, remember? And they kept saying, oh, I saw the tape. I saw the tape. I saw the tape, right? And remember, the one guy was like, stop showing the tape. Stop showing the tape. And then eventually the tape got out and the guy told on him and stuff like that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You know, and I'm not condoning, I'm not here to judge anybody, but this stuff's been going on for years. Like I said, it's how you move. It's how you do things. Stop uploading this stuff because it's going to start shutting things down. Women move in silence. Women are doing the exact same thing men are doing. And I'm going to tell you right now, personally, you've got European people here. There are so many young Dominican men in this town right now. When you go to the beach, you see, and I don't know what they're doing because I don't have any facts. You see young Dominican men and older European white women together. In Gambia, the government just put out an alert or some kind of rule or something that is barring European women from coming down there for sex tourism with the men or something like that's going on. Look it up. I'm not trying to quote that, but whatever. But this goes on. Yeah, Stanley says it's the same way Freaknik was back in the day. That's why the slogan became go on vacation, leave on probation. Exactly. But Stanley, I also remember in the military, what we used to say? What goes on overseas stays up overseas, right? All right. Fellas, just move in silence. Stop posting this stuff. You are not a passport bro if you are not looking for a wife to love and marry. And ladies, the difference is this. You're going to get these statistical numbers that say, oh, well, the women and the men, it's almost exactly the same. I think Demetra quoted that. We aren't talking about the same thing. We're not talking about Africans and people that are marrying American women for green cards. We're not talking about that. That is totally different. Passport bros are looking for wives and assimilating into the country of that wife. Now, passport bros, if you find a wife outside, don't bring them to the United States. Don't bring them to the United States. You build with them there, okay? Build with them there. So we're talking about two different things. And again, women are always deflecting and talking about something totally different that isn't exactly what the passport bros are doing. The real passport bros are going out there looking for spouses, and they're older men. And here in Sosua, yeah, you got some older men that are here for a good time. They're not passport bros. Younger men, they're not passport bros. They're just black men that have passports looking for a good time. You know? Oh, Juggy Natty, tell the truth, shame the devil, and shame the devil. You usually, when you stop getting notices, YouTube tries to stop us from having a conversation, and they automatically take you off the subscription. So what you got to do from time to time is check your favorite YouTube videos and where you subscribe and make sure you're still subscribed. They do that intentionally. Yeah, you know, Stanley, exactly. You were hoping the passport bro experience would tell women to wake up. We find not finding wife material. Right. Or if the women want the passport bro movement to stop, start acting right. Start acting right. But the sisterhood is a fallacy because when you are disparaging other women in other countries with no facts, that tells me, nah, you're just mad because the money is moving to another country. Because again, how do you say that these women are poor? Well, you know, a lot of them are poor. They come from poor villages compared to America. But in the Philippines, the women are highly educated. Most of them are either teachers, nurses, or doctors. So what are they talking about? Matter of fact, I was supposed to go to the Philippines. I hadn't been back there since the base is closed in 1991 when the thing blew up, the volcano blew, and I had everything ready to go, my ticket, everything like that. COVID hits, boom, they shut everything down. But in my research and some of my friends that actually live there, the construction and the building that is going on there, the Philippines Vietnam is the sixth fastest growing economy in Asia. The Philippines, I think, is fourth. These people are on the move. They are on the move. So what are these people talking about, that these people are poor and this, that? Are they poor in the sense of comparative to the United States? Yeah, just about everybody is, So Juggy Natty says, funny part, they never unsubscribed me, but recommend this video just now. Oh, okay. Well, I'm a little bit different than Demetra right now, but we're going to be doing a video real soon. So in another hour, Demetra and I are going to do a video. And for those guys that are on the podcast, check me out a little bit later. I just wanted to give you guys a big talking to in regards to the difference. When you got a good thing, don't let everybody know about it. Just be low key about it and enjoy it and have a good time with it. Because once everybody finds out, you'll find out that that good time that you were having, you won't be having it anymore. So, and Stanley says, I was cut off by Andre the other day, but I addressed the women because they raise and teach both races. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, genders. They teach both genders, exactly. And oh, well, where's the father? And I love Demetra. We've been, friends forever, and we argue and stuff like that. She keeps saying, where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? So because, okay, if the father's incarcerated or he's walked away, does that give women the right to raise hellion children with no value? You're going to blame a man that is not there for how your children are acting? It's just delusion all around. And I'm not saying all women are delusional, but a lot of women do not, their logic is off. Okay, so here I am in the Dominican Republic in Sosua. I'm trying to protect these women that have made a choice more so than the women out there. In the United States, don't they say, her body, her choice. If she wants to do this, if she want to do that, why aren't you guys supporting these women out here that their body, their choice? Where's the sisterhood? Where is it? Hypocrisy at its highest, fellas. Hypocrisy is the highest. We'll see you guys next week on the podcast. Talk to you guys later. Donovan Sadiq, later for that one. So, you know what I mean? They keep talking about sisterhood and all this other stuff. But here I am, the alpha male, the misogynist, the Ike Turner of the video, of the YouTube. And I'm trying to tell these guys, stop recording these women. Stop doing it. I'm trying to protect them, help them. If anything, these women should be saying, yeah, it's her body, her choice. If she want to be a hoe, let her be a hoe. If she want to be a stripper, let her be a stripper. You know what happened to all that? Isn't it very selective? Yeah, Juggy, how about raising these boys to be faithful to their future wives? I'll give you a good example. My mom was in the Army, so my mom, particularly, me and my mom, we do butt heads because I have a lot of my mother's traits. I'm very strong-willed, and I think that there are good traits in my mom. I'm very strong-willed. I do what I say what I do, so on, so on, so on. And remember, my mom raised two boys. She was in the Army. My mom was straight-laced with it. I mean, she didn't hold anything back. It was, this is how it is. Boom, no gray area. She didn't really operate in gray. It was, very rare. We operated in gray. It was, this is what you get, straight out, right? Love my mom to death. I love her to death. But having two boys, now I have some nieces, right? My mom can't deal with my nieces. She cannot deal with these girls because she raised boys. She's used to talking to boys. So, my mom would curse us out. And fellas, you guys have those mamas and those aunts and grandmas that would just curse you out. And it was no big deal. You're a guy, you're going to get cursed out. It's no big deal. There was no sensitivity and all that. You're just like, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, I screwed that up. And you know what you did and stuff like that. And so she's got these girls where it's like, oh, well, they want her to be kid gloves. And my mom's not kid glove. She's not kid glove. She's like, this is how it is, Yeah, Stanley, that's a damn shame. Stanley says, there is no sisterhood. They tell my wife to divorce me. Why should she be uncovered? Exactly. And, and the women that do that are the women that are probably by themselves. They have no man themselves, But back to my story with my mom, she raised me to be a very, very traditional man. I mean, I am totally fine with going out there, busting my ass for my family and giving my check to my wife and letting her handle the finances of the home and stuff. But when I come home, my dinner better be ready. There better be some power in the house. I better have my Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? There's certain things that I'm expecting to do that, but I was raised to be a traditional man. And that was based on my mom and her father, what she saw her father do. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I remember we were growing up, my mom's friends would say, oh, you're so hard on your boys. Oh my gosh, let up on them, do whatever. But if you look at myself, my brother, and our peers, a lot of my friends were military, so we all came out very, very well. But if you look at a lot of us and some of my other peers that were like, liberals and, drugs, jail, these people they're down bad. They're down bad. And I look at that. My mom, she tells me all the time, look at so-and-so and look how they turned out. Remember when they were telling, me, I shouldn't do this with you guys. I should let you guys have a little bit more freedom. No, and my mom was right. Because when you have two boys and you're about 5'4", 120 pounds, I think my mom was probably smaller than that. I'm 15 years old. If my mom didn't kick ass when I was younger, it wasn't going to work when I get older. Loving to me was not giving me $300 Jordans and name brand stuff. To me, that just wasn't love to me, because that shit comes and goes. Now, my mother didn't really necessarily hug me, but I understood if she didn't love me, she wouldn't be out there working two jobs sometimes. In the Army, working for the federal government, and working a part-time job, buying a house that we can live in, giving us certain freedoms, but letting us go. Putting clothes on our back and stuff like that. She never gave me what I wanted. She always gave me what I needed. Sent us to private school. Then we got into the DOD school system, which is a private school. Best education, the best foundation. I never received an ass whipping. I didn't earn. When I look back on it, yeah, I earned some shit. Okay. So, you look at that, but I see people like, oh, I'm so in love with my kids. And, there's a difference between loving your children and being in love with them. And I see a lot of young people in love with their children. I'm not trying to brag or anything, because people say I was very brutal with my boys. Okay. I was no nonsense with my kids. Okay. But look at where they're at today. Stanley says, my mom had 4 boys, de facto dads, right? I salute her, but I also know it was her doing. Right. Everything, and like I said, but we're toxic masculinity. If I'm toxic, then you need to talk to my mom about how she raised men to stand. And like I said, when I was my last marriage, I've been married twice. My last marriage, I stood on something like a rock. And when my ex-wife could not get her way, that was the problem. You know what I mean? So a lot of issues with that. And, and she went her way. She went her way. But as a man, I stood on what it is. But my mom isn't blaming society and my father not being there. Number one, my father had a very good excuse for not being there. He was dead. Okay. From the time I was 5 years old, my father was in the grave. I think that is a very good excuse for his absence. But that did not absolve my mom from surrounding my brother and I with positive men around us. And she did that. And I'm going to tell you this, when my mother married my stepfather, I didn't even know my mother dated. I had never seen my mom around men. My mother would go to work and come home. Go to work, come home. Nobody was brought to the house. That's why when I look at women today that are as free as can be, and you see them parading men after men after men in front of their children, and some of the children get attached to the men, and then that relationship doesn't work out, you can see the dysfunction that goes on. When I date women with children, I am very reluctant to meet their children, especially when their children are young. And Rain Love, I was very strict, and my children got the Jordans and nice clothes if they deserved it. 2 have bachelors and 1 has a master's in their profession. Right. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But notice, Rain, you get kids that ain't shit, ain't gonna be shit, and the parents still give them the Jordans. I tell my mom all the time, well, not all the time, but when we talk sometimes, that her sacrifices were not in vain because we produced in society. We ended up producing in society. You know, you could talk about us and my mom doesn't have to like hold her head down or anything like that. You know where I'm going with that? It's kind of like, well, yeah, you know, so-and-so, he's doing this and so-and-so is doing that. You know, we're productive. I'm not saying we're the greatest people because we're not. But what happened to that? Everything is the man's fault. And then if you do have a decent guy that comes in to help you raise your children, he has no jurisdiction or any say-so with the children. He's being disrespected, but you know, it's just a bad situation all around. Big ups to guys that walk into those situations and picks a good choice of a woman and they blend the families together. Big ups. I still believe that does happen. But what I'm seeing here overseas, as I've traveled, and I've traveled for over 40 years of my life, I've been a traveler. I'm seeing bad elements of what the United States produces coming here and screwing it up. How do you come to a country with all your gold showing, all your Jordans, you got the jersey on, absolutely showing you're an American, and then you get stuck or get robbed, and then you're out here complaining? You wouldn't do that shit in the United States. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm going to recommend everybody out there watch the movie Cocoon if you haven't seen it. And I'm telling you, if you got a good thing, keep it a secret. Move in silence, young men. And everything's going to be all right. I'm going to get ready to do a podcast with Demetra K. So you're going to see a bunch of videos today. So give us some time. We're going to go ahead and shoot that. It'll probably post later on today. But just like Stanley says, being a stepfather is more dangerous than underwater. Stanley, oh my God, where is your podcast, brother? You need to get up here and start putting this message out, because if these women are not going to be married, 70% of Black women are not married. Statistically, you can't mess with numbers. Maybe by putting your knowledge out there, it's going to help a young man have a different perspective. And my good friend Rain Love says, I was the same. Men were not allowed in my home around my girls. It would be the same if I had boys. My kids tell me that they never see me with a man. Right. When my mom said she was getting married, my brother and I were like, what? What are you talking about? And then she's talking about, we're going to Japan. Who'd you marry? Jackie Chan? You know what I mean? Our mind was blown. Our mind was blown. We had no idea. And of course, she marries this Marine, and we go overseas. And I think they were married for 6 to 8 years or something. And, you know, the marriage goes really bad. He was a Marine Corps aviator. Again, flying other places and, you know, doing everything. But the good thing about my mom was this. My mom was not a stupid woman. Country girl, you know, she's a country girl. My mom's not a stupid woman. And she said that in the situation she was put in, the bad decision that she had made in marrying this man, she had found out about the affairs. Whatever, she basically told me this, whatever is done in the streets should stay in the streets. Just that's cut and dry. Stay in the streets. Simple as that. Life goes on. She had a plan. She was getting ready to get out. But the thing was, she sacrificed again for my brother and I, because we were in school and stuff. And, you know, you don't want to upheaval and, you know, on emotion. My mother was an emotional type woman like that. She was a logical woman. You know, my mom was she was feminine, but again, she was more logical. She was like, okay, I'm in this situation. This is what the cards I'm dealt with. I will deal with it and do it logically, where it gave us less impact. You know what I mean? Like, she's just not going to, I'm not feeling it. I'm going to go. I'm not getting my way. So no, She just planned it out, took her time, and said, "Okay, I'm going to deal with this for right now, and just do what I do, and then when I get back, I'm going to handle this." Done. A lot of women are emotional. All right, Stanley. Yes, Stanley says he's starting his podcast. Yes, brother, we got to get out there and get this knowledge out there, because let's face it, these women ain't trying to get married. These younger girls ain't trying to get married. So what we got to do is trying to get the younger dudes to have the knowledge out there. It's just kind of like I tell people when it comes to working and stuff on a certain thing. Let's say you don't know how to do it. YouTube tells you everything you need to know about putting a bike together. You know what I mean? So just like that is what we're going to do to give these younger men advice and give them a better chance, so they don't make bad decisions like, our predecessors did or we did. And when I say bad decision, I'm not talking about like an American women. I'm just talking about the type of women you engage in, right? So yeah, right, and yeah, Zeepers, is that my brother? I think that's my brother. But anyway, when you got a good thing, you guys keep it to yourself. Keep it close to the vest. I mean, man, if you're in paradise, why would you want everybody to come in and enjoy paradise when there's only so many seats? You're at the Super Bowl is coming up, right? The Super Bowl is coming up. You got tickets to the 40-yard line, box seats right there, right? You and just a few people can go. Just you and a few people. You just keep it to yourself. Because then, and you have and you got some extra room in there too, right? People, because they're gonna be, oh, let me go with you. You got an extra ticket, whatever. No, I don't want to take. You know what I mean? You keep it to yourself. I'm going to picture. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm hanging out. Yeah, YouTube University, exactly. No, well, Rain Love, it isn't really that we're sneaky. Remember, Stella got her groove back. Women have been doing rent-a-dread for over 30 years, and men are just now finding out about it. They put a movie out. What Stella Got Her Groove Back is at least 20 years old, 20 something plus. And men didn't even catch on then what that movie was about. So, I mean, it's been proven 100%, Rain, 100% paternity fraud by women. By women. Now, we know because women have the babies that everything's going to be 100% on them. But 100% of all paternity fraud is caused by women. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. When you go to court, it is, I believe, 23% of the men that are actually accused of being the father are not the father. So that's why when women, use these negative, disparaging things against men, I'm saying, isn't that what you guys are doing in the States as well? Not you, but, the women in general in the States. I don't see other groups of women talking about their men ain't shit. This has been going on for 30, 40 years, disparaging Black men, And my question is this: with good women like yourself out there, what is going on where men can't see or want to deal with their own women in their own country? Let's reverse the question that I had said on Sunday. What is going on where men, and let's be honest, what is going on when men in the United States do not want to deal with their women? There is always some truth in a stereotype. There's always some truth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Beverly, Maury Povich, Ricky Lake, all of these things that were, if you go back, I'm not sure if it was on Oprah. I think it was Phil Donahue. Eliza Van Zant was in the audience. She wasn't even famous yet. And I believe Shirzad Ali was the one of the guests. And they were tearing her up about her book. And I remember when Shirzad Ali came out with the book, Understanding the Black Woman and Black Man. She had like two different versions. I went and got that book. And it made sense to me even back then. But isn't it funny how everything she said in that book, if you've read the book, is applicable today, and she saw it ahead of time. But Eliza Van Zant was like tearing Shirzad Ali down. Like, you don't know what you're talking about, this, that. But here it is, Eliza Van Zant quit her show because particularly Black women, were so difficult to deal with. Quit it. Oh, wow, Stan, the last child in my first marriage was not mine. That's what I'm saying. There's a reason this is going on. There's a reason. But see, women and ladies, I love you. I love women. The fact of the matter is there's all this deflection and no taking accountability and all this other stuff. It's just sad. And it doesn't incorporate everybody. But there is a reason why these men are just done and they don't want to deal with you guys. If we flying out to find women, they're not going to fly in. They know if we don't want them, right? But think about this, Stanley. They're talking about us flying somewhere and having fun in other countries and just enjoying ourselves. Are they not getting on planes and going and flying out and flew out to meet strangers in the United States? Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the same thing? So why is what you're doing okay, but when we do it on an international level, it's not the same thing? It is the same thing. It is the same thing. A man flew you out, you don't even know, dropping all the money on you. I'm not judging. Do what you want to do. Tricking, hoeing, you're hoeing, and you're fucking the man. What's the difference? Oh, Rain says, my children came out looking like their father. Every time their father came to the hospital to see his babies, he looked disappointed because he was the I could see it. I could see it. I get it. Stanley says he'll be 18 this year. And yes, I'm still paying child support. Yeah, exactly. How can child support, DNA get you off of death row, but it can't get you off child support? Make it make sense. But the ladies don't say nothing. And then they wonder why we're done. Why would we stay in a system that is unfair to us? Stanley, girls trip, they're doing the exact same thing. But you don't see men shaming women that are doing what they're doing. You can never say nothing against a Black woman. You can never say a word. It's just so sad. It's just so sad. And that's what I try to bring out, the hypocrisy in it. For every time a woman talks about a Black man ain't shit, I can show you a Black woman that ain't shit. Or just women, not just a Black woman, a woman that ain't shit. Amber Rose fought in all of these years. You got a big ass tattoo, and she's still an attractive woman. You got a big ass tattoo across your forehead talking about you're done with men, you're done with dating. No, why didn't you sit your ass down and become a good wife and settle down to a good decision? No accountability, refuses accountability. And then your man gets taken by a 76-year-old Cher. Come on now, 78, 80, I don't know how old Cher is, but she still looks good. But you know what I mean? That's an ego blow if somebody, an old geriatric person would do that. I see these young Dominicans here with these white women. I don't say a word. Hey, get in where you fit in. If she's going to pay, tricking is tricking. Hey, as long as you're grown. I have a problem when you're under 18, and I know I'm in another country. It might be 16 here. But according to my value system, if you're not 18, I have a problem with it. So anyway, you guys, let me get out of here and go meet Demetra K on her thing. And, just something to think about, and please pass the word on. Ladies, if you guys are out there tricking, like a lot of you guys are doing, keep it on the down low. When you have an OnlyFans, don't tell me nothing. If I could Google you and see you bouncing your ass for $3 a month, don't tell me something about, oh, this ain't right and that ain't, you know what I mean? It's hypocritical. Come on. But even the ladies, whatever you do it in silence. And you ladies are really good at hiding your tracks. Fellas, especially you young guys with passports, you're not passport bros. You're out there to have a good time. Stop posting these damn videos because they are shutting this shit down. Then where are you going to go? Exactly. All right, you guys. Donovan, Sadiq, Lorraine, love, Moni, love you guys. Thank you guys for the support. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to put another video up later on today. Guys, check that out. I'm not sure what me and Demetra are talking about, but I'm very sure she saw Yeah, give us a discount if you're going to be talking about it. I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about, but I'm very sure she saw or heard this podcast, and she's probably going to jump on me for that. So we're going to see how it goes. So you guys have a great day. I am going snorkeling today. I'm going to sit in the water and just relax. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Be safe. Love you guys.